Welcome to the Bigg Fella Broadcast. This is officially episode 1. For those of you that are new here, my name is Noah. I've lost 110 pounds. I'm known as Biggest Fella on social media, and I am starting the Bigg Fella Broadcast here on YouTube to help men who feel lost, help men who feel as if the system is against them and they feel hopeless. I'm here to give you more hope and realize that it is all in your control. And today we're here to talk about swinging bigger than you can ever imagine. And it's perfect timing because that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm notorious within myself for playing things really conservative and really safe. I can work hard, I know how to work hard, but I never take big swings. That is changing here. Now you could argue, obviously all of that's relative. Starting a business is a big swing, whatever. I'm starting another one. That's this, the Bigg Fella brand. And the reception that we've gotten already has been absolutely phenomenal. Before I say anything else, thank you to everyone who has already been a part of it. I am so incredibly excited. I got my team here with me today. It feels incredible. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and let's dive into the first episode of the Bigg Fella Broadcast. So today we're gonna start with a story back when I was a bartender before I even built the coaching business. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had lost 100 pounds. I was ready to build the business, and every day I was working 5-6 days a week bartending, and I was going home and building the business, teaching myself business, teaching how to run a coaching program, also getting certified. One day, it's a open to the public day, so I'm not technically working. I'm actually sharing a drink with a yacht club member that I had a phenomenal conversation with. And it was me, my best friend growing up, Marcus, who hopefully shows up in some of this content later, and a member, we'll just call him Tim, okay? This member, Tim, and I and Marcus sat down, had a drink. Have you guys ever tried scotch? I know we're younger guys. Scotch is disgusting. It is literal gasoline. It is awful. Anyway, side note. So me, Tim, and Marcus are sitting there sharing a drink. This is a Navy guy, so he only drinks scotch, and I try to drink scotch with a Navy guy. First mistake there already. But he said something that really changed my brain chemistry and helped me shoot higher and bigger than I ever could even really think. He was talking to Marcus. Marcus, really good with cars. Marcus knows cars. He's a mechanic. He does it for work. That's what he does right now. And he was telling Tim at the time that that's what he was going to school for. Tim says, okay, so what do you want to do with it? And he's like, I don't know. I probably want to be, he said he wanted to be a mechanic at a dealership or something. That's what he wanted to do. He's like, okay, what about something bigger? He said something about being a race car driver. And then Tim says again, okay, but think bigger. He said think bigger to Marcus 3 or 4 different times. He's like, got to the point where, why don't you try to shoot to have your own luxury car brand? What's stopping you from being the next Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti? Truth be told, nothing's stopping him. And he told Marcus that. And as somebody who was in the midst of starting his first business, that was an invaluable lesson for me to learn and actually hear from someone who I knew was successful. The only thing limiting you in this realm is yourself. That's the truth. Does the road seem and feel impossible? Like if you're a car guy, if you started your own luxury car brand and wanted to get to the point of Lamborghini, Bugatti, does that seem absolutely unreasonable? Of course it does. It's delusional. Sometimes you need to be a little delusional. You got to swing so unbelievably high. You ever heard, there's a term, you guys heard the term, reach for the stars and land on the moon, or maybe vice versa? Same thing. Now Marcus is working full-time as a mechanic, but now he wants to start his own voice acting business. He never in a million years wouldn't have done that if he hadn't had that conversation with Tim. Now, the timing of that story that I heard from Tim could not have come at a better time because I was actively having anxiety attacks because I was 2 months away from launching my coaching business. And launching a coaching business does not take that much. It's not a restaurant. You don't have inventory and employees. It was just me, but it was still terrifying because I'd never done it before. And when you're sitting in your room alone, crying with a laptop open with no lights on and you're by yourself and it's midnight and you've done that for every day for the whole week, it's not a good feeling. Funny enough, most of you hearing that have experienced that in one way or another. Maybe it's not because you're scared to start a business, but most men have felt that feeling, the hopelessness, the I don't know what is about to happen feeling with the future. What really kicked me in the teeth about the limiting beliefs thing and why I should be swinging super high and why I should be okay with failing and failing forward. When I launched the coaching business, I don't think I've ever told you guys this. I had like 40,000 followers on TikTok. I got 1 coaching application when I launched the first week. Shout out Tristan, by the way. First ever client. He actually asked me for one of these shirts.
Shout out Tristan.
Shout out Tristan, man. Shout out Tristan. His success, too. He's a good dude. I got one coaching application that first week. Very humbling, right? But again, I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to run ads. I didn't know how to I made like 3 videos about it the first time I launched it. Crickets, dude. Crickets. I got one coaching application. And it was enough to teach me. It was enough to teach me how to learn. And I didn't even let it bother me that much because of what Tim had told me. Like, I'm just going to keep swinging high. I know the vision of where I want to take this, but I'm going to fail my way forward until I get there. The only way to learn is do. And then I brought it up to the biggest I ever could have possibly imagined it. I hit 6 figures in 2 years. And I don't say that to be braggadocious, but I say that because if I hadn't been told that by somebody that I respected and cared about, I probably would have never done it. I probably would have never tried to go full time. I probably would have stayed bartending. I probably would still be bartending to this day and never done any of this, never met any of my best friends and built something that I am more passionate about in my life. This brings me the most fulfillment I think I've ever had in my life doing this now. We're just getting started over here. But one conversation with somebody that I respected telling me to swing bigger than I ever could have imagined got me through some of the darkest days that nobody else knows about. It also got me through an ugly launch for the first business. And then we kept going. We kept showing up. And then I got more. And we got more clients. And we got more success stories. And then January hit and we just ran with it. It's going to take 10 times the amount of effort that you think it is. And that's the easy part. Men know how to put their nose to the grindstone and do something 100 times. Men have a superpower. Now, I'm speaking incredibly generally. I'm not saying women can't do this. But most men have a superpower where the work ethic thing is not the issue. It's the direction. And if you can just accept to yourself, like, okay, I want to do this. It doesn't have to be building a business. I talk a lot about building businesses because that's what I'm nerdy about. That's what I'm passionate about. But it can be anything. It can be anything. It's going to take 10 times the amount of effort that you think it's going to. Learning how to edit, it's going to take 10 times. Luke, can you not attest to this or what? Editing takes 10 times the amount of time that you think it will, even when you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Luke makes movies.
Those take a while.
They take a while, but even when you're first learning how to do it on the iPhone or on CapCut, it takes 10 times longer than you think it will, and that's the best part. That's what's going to separate you from the wanters to the doers. It's the only thing. It's just willing to do. Like, okay, if you start a sales call, if you're starting a sales business or a sales job, you think you're going to land your first sale in the first 10 calls? I guarantee you won't. You're not going to get a sale to your first 1,000 calls. But if you can accept that and realize that that's a part of the game, numbers start going up, man. The numbers start going up. And if you can have the vision of like, I know where I need to go. I know it just takes a ridiculous amount of volume to do so. Just keep doing what works and keep repeating it. Most men think that consistency is their issue. Me talking to men about becoming a coach or, somebody needing weight loss help. I'm like, hey, what's your biggest issue? They'll always say, oh, consistency. I suck at consistency. You don't suck at consistency. You've just never been consistent in this part of your life. You show up to work every day. You get up, you brush your teeth every day. Some of them are going to the gym every day. Some of them have a family and they're showing up being a father every day, being a big brother, being a husband, being a partner. You know how to be consistent. It's not a knowledge thing. You know you've done it. You already do it now. So if you can build that consistency while also accepting the fact that whatever it is that you don't have now is between you and a ridiculous amount of more consistency, more volume, that's the equation. I've talked to men, it's so funny. I talk to men that literally get up at 3 a.m. and drive an hour and a half to work every single day, 6 days a week. And they're going to tell me that they don't know how to be consistent? Are you kidding me? You know how to be consistent. You know how to figure things out. So stop limiting yourself on that. Swing bigger than you possibly could because you have all of it within you right now. You don't struggle with consistency. It's just scary because it's new. You can swing as big as you possibly want. You have all the answers in here and in here already. I promise you, you do. Because if I can build a business, you sure as heck can do whatever the heck you want. If I can control and create everything that I've been able to create, I'm not special, dude. I'm not smartest person I know. There are people that work harder than me. I am nothing special. You have everything it takes to achieve whatever it is you feel is impossible. You already have the consistency part figured out. You're just not applying it to this part of your life. And whatever it is that you want, a job, a girl, building a business, whatever it is you feel that is impossible, I'm telling you with 100% certainty, you have the answers within you. You say you struggle with consistency, yet you show up to work every day. You say you struggle with vision, yet you know very clearly what it is that you want. What's the missing piece? It's because you're scared. But I'm telling you right now, failure is how you get better. This is the average pathway for a man's life, okay? You have rungs on a ladder, you're going up the ladder of life, okay? Number one, you're going through school. Number two, you're teaching how to be a man. You're going from boy to a man, pretty basic stuff. Your dad, your brothers, your friends are gonna teach you how to do that kind of stuff. You get to the third rung, that's your first job. You figure out what you wanna do with your life. You don't really know what you wanna do with your life, but you pick something, right? You don't have to love it, most people aren't. What happens after that? What part of the developments, what happens next? There's not another step for you to continuously improve yourself, and that's why men feel so lost so quickly. And they get discouraged. I get discouraged even sometimes. I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see somebody with pecs the size of a freaking freight train, and I see somebody curling my body weight. It's gonna hit the ego a little bit. So if men are constantly without the direction of the ladder, not knowing what the next rung on the ladder looks like, and then on top of that, being compared and seeing other men who have 4 rungs ahead of them, no wonder you feel so lost. Don't worry about the next rung in front of you yet. You will figure this out. What you need to do is figure out the direction. Direction. It does not look like direction, but just run with it, okay? You need to figure out where you want to go, not what the next step that you need to take. Where do you want to go? Not where you need to go. Where do you want to go? Because that is where you need to go. Figure it out what it is you like. Figure it out what it is you want. Then work backwards. You'll be able to build this rung and move your way up. The best way I like to call this, the reverse pyramid. Grant, you know about this.
Pyramid scheme?
No. I'm not going to get into this. This is going to be its own video. The easiest way for you to figure out what the top rung of your ladder looks like. You're going to die tomorrow at midnight. What are you going to regret most not doing? That's your answer. That's what you need to find out. Once you figure that out, everything else is cake. Very recently, actually, I had a former client. His name was Bryson. Bryson was one of my clients. I helped him go from 60 pounds down to 95 pounds down. He's now 120 pounds down total. He's now 120 pounds down in the last 2 years. And he told me earlier just this week that he bought his first personal trainer certification. He's going to become a coach himself. That's the power of being able to swing so big. He never even had that in his radar. But he's like, why can't I do it? What he probably did is he probably saw like, oh, well, Noah's kind of a freaking idiot, so if he can do it, I sure as heck can do it, right? But at the end of the day, he's swinging bigger than he ever could have thought of because he believes in himself, because he knows how to do the dirty work. He knows the consistency side of things, right? You already have the consistency part figured out. There's 2 things I need from you now that you're done watching this video. Number 1, I need you to send it to somebody who needs to hear this. And the second thing I need you to do is pick something that you want that you don't currently have, right? Is it money? Is it a car? Is it a woman? Is it a man? Is it a career? Is it a business, right? Is it a house? Something that seems delusional. 10x that. Figure out what it is you think you want that's reasonable, and then think, what's 10 times better than that? Start swinging for that. It makes everything else feel a heck of a lot easier.
Are you saying I should get 10 women?
No, I am not saying that. Good. Do whatever the heck you want. I mean, it's your life. I have no control over what you do. That's a good point. Maybe I should word that differently. Oh, well.
Everything.
Yeah.
I want it all.
But you know what I'm saying. Swing bigger than you could ever possibly imagine because you already have the consistency thing figured out. You belong here. Keep it simple, big fella. Done.
Cuts.